What up, fam? What up, beaches? What up, beach? What's up, fam? Come on in through the door. Getting your alerts. It's Swole time. Damn fucking straight. Drop a comment. Drop some gorillas and some biceps. Drop a comment, especially if it's your first daily Swole. If it's your first time joining the sleaze, make sure you say what's up. Yep. It's all bullshit.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Test. Testing. Testing. Testicles. Ball sack. Testing. Welcome everyone to episode 889 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beardcast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, slaycast, nipplecast, taintcast, gun show cast, flex Friday cast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Welcome everyone to episode 889, live on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere that's important, all over the place. Podcast is also, well, not live, but yes, you can catch the podcast. Remember, go subscribe on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere. Daily Swole Podcast. You can find me everywhere. Make sure you're following me. Make sure you turn your notifications. And super cool. So what's going on? What's going on? Happy Flex Friday. Today we're going to talk about flexing everything. I'm going to help you get started. I'm going to help get you amped up for the weekend. I'm going to help you focus a little bit more on what is most important to focus on. I think that's a huge discrepancy. It's based off a lot of messages I've been getting. How do I start? Where do I begin? Everyone's trying to juggle so many fucking things in their life. And that's the problem. You're trying too hard. You're trying too hard. You're trying too hard for everything to be perfect. You're trying too hard for everything to be in order. You're trying too hard to know all the answers. You're looking too much and you're not doing enough. And usually those answers will come when you start taking action, when you start doing something. So more good news for those of you that are looking to start. This is the last couple days of the special offer for Swolenormous X. You can click the link in the description on my Facebook page of this post. And you can also see me announcing it on Instagram stories. I have it in my bio now and again throughout the day. Just make sure you check the Instagram stories. I'll be talking more about it there last weekend for that. And that just goes along with getting started. You know, that's where a lot of fitness professionals miss it. They want to either baby people and give them an answer, whether or not there is an actual answer for their problem, or they go too high level. They're focusing more on the physical. And fitness is a lot more than the physical. That is why people have trouble starting, because all the industry does and all that the average fitness professional does is push the physical results. They push the weight loss. They push the muscle gain. They push the inches. They push the body fat percentage. Everyone is pushing physical results, which is interesting. All right. There's nothing wrong with physical results. We all like physical results. That usually coincides with health results. You know, physical results, we're building muscle. We can see that. We can quantify it. We can weigh it. We can measure it in some respect. So the physical results are great and all. However, everyone is just chasing those physical results. And if you don't have physical results, well, you're not getting fit. If you're not getting physical results, you're not getting fit. You're not getting results if you're not losing weight, if you're not building muscle. If you don't look different, you're not changing, right? When you are trying to start, whether it's losing a lot of weight, when you're trying to build a lot of muscle, there are a lot of changes that your body's going to go through, a lot of mental and physical changes. And there's a huge lifestyle shift for most people. Most of you are going through massive, massive lifestyle shifts. And that is because of your eating habits and what you've been accustomed to your entire life to this point, which could be 20, 30, or 40 years or more. That's a long time. That's a lot of habit to break. 30 years of bad habits. And I'm not saying bad habits like you're a fucking cokehead or you're, hooked on meth or something, but that's a long time to go a different direction. Yeah. Or to not have a direction. That's a long time to do different stuff. That's a huge difference. 30 years or 35 years or 40 years or 50 years of not exercising, eating whatever you want, not paying attention to hydration, like completely ignoring anything nutritionally, right? Maybe this whole time you've been trying to keep fat low and eat whole foods, I guess, but you're still eating fast food and pizza. You're not really paying attention. You're aware, kind of. You just don't really give a shit and you haven't really tried. That's a long time to do one thing. And what we know now is you're cultivating a garden in your intestines and your gut. You are cultivating an ecosystem of bacteria. And when you're shifting your diet, let alone the physical habits, when you're shifting your nutrition by all of a sudden feeding it raw vegetables, let's go raw vegan, let's lose some weight, let's go raw vegan, or let's completely change and eat all this fermentable fiber all of a sudden because I read somewhere an article that it's good for you, which it is. But all of a sudden eating these completely different foods and people flop all of a sudden. For a couple of weeks, you feel gassy, you feel uncomfortable, you just don't feel good. That's very common when you're drastically changing your nutritional intake. When you make a drastic sudden shift, it's going to feel really crappy. It's going to feel really crappy. That's normal. You're changing how your body consumes. You're changing your body's, literally the fuel you're giving it. The bacteria in the system are all of a sudden like, what the fuck is going on? And you'll see a lot of changes within 24, 48 hours in terms of what essentially surface bacteria in your gut need to adapt to in order to digest what it's trying to digest, the food that you're now giving it. And I do notice, by the way, and remember, if there is some kind of like connection issues, if the live stream freezes, whether you're on Facebook or Instagram, just remember you're going to catch the whole podcast later. I can control internet service. So just so you know, I'm seeing here, it looks like the connection's a little bit choppy. So if the connection keeps on going out, I don't know why. That's not me on my end. So if you're missing parts of the podcast and you want to catch it up, just make sure you check out the podcast later. Sometimes the internet's a little bit iffy, all right? And it might freeze a little bit for whatever reason. So if it freezes, just check out the audio podcast later, or you go on Instagram and check it out. So that being said, let's continue with that trend. When people try to make those massive changes with nutrition, they get amped up, they get excited, they get inspired by a video, they get inspired by their friends, they look in the mirror, they're like, fuck, I hate the person that I see in the mirror, I need to make a change. And all of a sudden your body's getting different food. That's a huge shift. Your body does not have the tools to digest those things efficiently. So you don't have the bacterial profile, you don't have that ecosystem ready for that sudden change. It's not a gradual change, it's a sudden change. So you might feel a little bit discomfort right out of the gate. And in that first couple week period, that's when you're more likely to fail, fall off, and not build that habit and not stick to it. If you feel crappy for 2 weeks, or you feel good for a week, wow, and then all of a sudden weeks 2, 3, and 4, you feel kind of shitty because your body's making that massive shift, that is not really encouraging for people to continue. You know what I'm saying? That's a huge opportunity to rebound and to give up the journey, even in the first month. And those feelings are going to be very strong. A lot of these feelings are literal withdrawal. It's like a drug withdrawal. It's an addiction, and that addictive type feeling when you're trying to change your nutrition, especially if you're going from more processed foods and candy and you're eating exceptionally bad to eating exceptionally well. It's just your body doesn't have the tools for it. And it can be very, very shocking and very discouraging for people trying to make that change. You're not able to stick to it. You feel like a failure. And that can continuously and, of course, lead down the wrong path and make you feel like you're not worthy or that you can't do it. And all of a sudden that there's some secret that you don't know. There's some secret that you don't know. You just don't have your fucking finger on it. Someone out there must have the secret. There must be some way to get results. Everyone's looking for that way, that one path. Like, oh, go that way, do this, that, and the other, A, B, C, and D, and boom, you'll have what you want. That is the other direction. That's the other direction that people try to push you, give you a whole map. This is how you do it. Follow this and you'll get results. There is not enough guidance. There's not enough reality. There are a lot of people making money on quick fixes, a lot of people making money on these challenges and transformation bullshit things, making money on supplements, trying to give you something that will make it all happen faster. Nothing happens fast. Nothing happens fast. It's going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time. The most important thing to work on at the beginning, in my opinion, you first off got to build that physical habit. You need to start exercising and place into your schedule. At the same time, you need to start working on your mental behavior, on your perception of yourself, how you perceive this journey. You know, if you're looking at it as a challenge, if you're looking at, oh, this is a 30-day challenge, an 8-week challenge, that has an end point. That's not the right way to approach this. Thinking of an 8-week period is not a good way to approach your fitness because there's an end point. There's no end point. The end point is when you die. The end point is when they put you in the fucking ground, not to get abs in 30 days, not to do, oh, I'm going to do 100 push-ups a day, or I'm going to do 20 crunches every day. Wow, what a challenge. Oh, what a fucking challenge it is to do 100 push-ups a day. That's not a fucking challenge. 100 squats a day. Ooh, the squat challenge, the daily squat challenge. Oh, that's crazy. No way. 100 squats in a day. All these little bullshit things that people get to get views and engagement. I get it. You're going to get some people that lose a couple pounds because they're finally fucking moving their body, but it's bullshit. It's a very, 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 very sliver concept. It's in terms of the pie. You're not even doing a full workout. You're not talking about nutrition. You're not working on the mental game. You're just saying, do this amount in a day. Great. You did 100 push-ups. You did the 25 challenge, right? 25 jumping jacks, 25 squats, 25 this every day for 30 days. Who could do that? Oh my goodness, so challenging. Oh man, I'm going to enter and hope to win the prize at the end of the 6 weeks. Everyone needs a fucking cookie, right? Everyone needs a cookie to get results. So you have that bullshit. You have people trying to sell you quick fixes. You have people trying to sell you supplements and trying to sell you the way. Well, first off, if you're new to this podcast, there is no way. There's no best of anything. There is no best workout. There's no best exercise. There's no best food. There's no best. There's no such thing as best. That's as subjective as fuck. It's completely subjective what the best is. We know that nutrition is exceptionally individualized. We're learning more and more about epigenetics and our actual DNA and how certain gene sequences can fire when exposed to certain foods and certain common environmental factors. We're learning how some people will metabolize fats better based on genetic profiles, and who knows, and then different foods that react in different combinations inside the body. No one's created equal, right? We have arms and legs, but that's a big misconception that the same diet and nutrition profile will work for everyone. Not to mention your exercise habits, not to mention your lifestyle. Not everyone can eat. Let's say the rule, like the bro science we're talking about, let's say the rule was 8 meals a day. How many of you have a job or a situation that would allow you to even try to comprehend eating 8 meals or 12 meals a fucking day? How many people have that much time, right? How many people can sit down, you're going to go run to the bathroom and eat. You're going to do that 6 times a day, and the other 6, like if you're a laborer and you have a physical job, you don't have time to sit down and fucking eat 8 times a day. You're a busy mom and you have a job and you have school. It's just not realistic. So could you do that for a week or two? Sure. Could you do that for 4 months? Sure. It's just very hard to maintain. Not to say that no one does it, but if that was the rule, if that was the way, I mean, it'd be very, very challenging, but at least there would be a way that works for everyone. But in reality, there is no single way. So you can't be prescribing that to everyone. You can't be prescribing 6 meals a day, 8 meals a day. You have to be able to stick to it. You have to be able to stick to your shit. You have to be able to customize it. And luckily, this is good news. This is good news. The fact that you are very, very individualized with your nutrition, that's not a bad thing. I get such a response when it's like, well, you have to figure it out yourself. You need to do an elimination. You need to test. You need to test it. Oh my God, that's a lot of work. I don't know if I can do that. I don't have time. Well, should I eat this? Should I eat that? I literally just fucking told you. You have to test it. Here's this method. That's why I made the nutrition jumpstart on my website. That's why there's a specific way to approach figuring out what foods are best for you. You have to test it. If you don't like putting in that kind of work, then you're not going to know. You have to be willing to figure this out. And I think that's a wonderful thing. It might seem like extra work, but I don't think so. I think it's a wonderful thing to know that you have a very individual approach to nutrition and that there is a way that is optimal for you. You just maybe haven't found it yet. You have to be willing to put in the work to discover that and to find that. I think it's nice to not have to be put into a box and have to know that, all right, I got to eat this food at this time every day. Oh my God. Can you imagine if we all had to eat the same thing every day? Literally. Some people would love the food. Some people would hate the food. At least you can figure out and you can determine which foods and what type of meals and what type of combinations you like the best. Of course, that comes after figuring out which foods your body reacts best to. But I think that's wonderful because I know for a fact there are foods out there that are really good for you as an individual and that you're going to really, really like. Maybe you just haven't figured it all out yet. And that's okay too. It's okay to not have the answer. It's okay to not have the answer. And many of you don't have the answer. I don't have the answer. I don't have all the answers. I have things that seem to work pretty damn well. But maybe there's a better way and I just haven't figured it out yet, or I haven't been inspired to figure it out or take it further. There's always different ways to do things. And that fear of not having the exact answer, the fear of the unknown. What if I try this? Well, what if you do? What if you don't? What if you try it? It may work. What if you try it? It might not work. Either way, you have an answer and you can move forward. Most people don't want to even try. They want someone to give them something. Well, those are the people that never get fucking results because they want to be hand-fed. They want the 8th place trophy. They want it all just handed to them. Oh, there's a way to do it. There is a way, but you're going to have to fucking figure it out for yourself. Not a good sales pitch, right? Well, there's certain things you can do. Of course, there's certain things you can do. You can start meditating. There's certain places that you can start with your training that will create a good foundation of mobility, right? Yoga, strength training, but more endurance type training at the beginning, stabilization, time under tension, learn how your body moves, learn how to control your body, then progress into more strength training. Those are great methods to get started. That's my personal approach. That's my personal approach with my clients, my members. That's where is a great place to start. You might really get into competitive cycling down the road. You just love the cardiovascular component of fitness. All right, then go do it. You got to start somewhere, but you should start somewhere that takes a all-encompassing, comprehensive approach to fitness. And it's not just about losing weight. It's not about just building muscle. It's not just about flexibility and mobility. It's not just about nutrition. It's not just about meditation. It's about everything. It's the physical. It's the food. It's your mental approach. It's everything. You need to approach everything with everything. You need to approach your body as it really is. Your body is not just a physical result. Your body is feelings, it's emotion, it's you have different systems. You have different systems that work independently and codependently, and they interact with one another. All the digestive system, the nervous system, the skeletal system. You kind of have to train every system, don't you think? You should train your nervous system. Meditation. You should train your skeletal muscular system or skeletal muscular. I'm like, why does that sound weird? Musculoskeletal system. Jesus, it's Friday, so I get a free pass on that one. So that musculoskeletal system, you can train that, right? Mobility, yoga, you can train it with strength training, okay? Your cardiovascular system, that's where you get the word cardio from. You can train that as well. You should be training all your systems. Depends on what you want the outcome to be. Okay, you can put more focus on the resistance training. You can put more focus on the yoga. You can put more focus on the cardiovascular. Depends on what your goal is. But you should be training all the systems. Okay, your skin. You should be focusing on, you should take care of your skin. You should eat for your skin. You should eat and moisturize, whatever it is to take care of your skin. You shouldn't be getting tons and tons of sun, cooking the shit out of yourself. You should take care of your entire body. You should take care of your entire body. Most people don't even take care of most people don't think of their body as a body. Body is physical. No, body is more mental than physical. It really is. We can't even quantify how strong and how powerful and how deep the mind is, because the mind is, all right, it's in the brain, but it's not a physical quantification. You can put a lot of shit in the brain. The body, the cells and everything, that's physical. You can quantify that. You can see how much cells you have, how much muscle you have. But what about this endless brain? What about this endless mental capacity? That's not quantifiable. All of that communicates with the body. So how much of the physical body, the physical cells, are there dimensions that aren't physical? I know this is getting a little bit out there, but I've been thinking about this lately, especially when I'm meditating. If you have brain is physical tissue, and you have all this extra, wonderment. You don't have to stay inside this tissue. It's like, what is it? Like, how big is it? How big is the brain? We can't quantify that, right? Well, what about the cells in our body? What if our physical body also it interacts the same way? Our cells don't necessarily have nervous systems, but our brain, there's other dimensions to our body as well. I think that's why the brain is so powerful in treating the body in terms of getting better from diseases. You can heal yourself in many ways just by your thoughts and your mental approach, meditation. People have improved symptoms and their livelihood. Like, you could be happy right now if you want to be, or if you can control that. If you can control that and you can go to that place and not let things bother you, you're going to be happier all the time. You're going to have less stress all the time. You're going to have less disease all the time, because if you reduce stress, hormones can rebalance and your body can treat things properly when you have a better balance in the body, a better situation, a better environment. But you can control that. You can control that environment. So how can you say that the physical is the most important? How can you put such a high value on body fat percentage? How can you put such a high value on how much muscle you build? That's cool. That's great. And that can be the main focus if you want. That can be the main focus if you want. That can be the goal. But you shouldn't leave everything else behind, because everything else is going to help you build more muscle. It's going to help you build that capacity. It's going to help you work through those tough times. It's one thing to start. It's one thing to feel like it today. I mean, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? Wherever you're listening to this right now, if you're watching it live, if you're listening to this in the car, wouldn't it be nice? Would it be nice to always feel like doing this? Wouldn't it be always nice to feel up? Well, first off, you can. And second off, you never will. And what I mean by that is you're never always going to feel like it. You're not always going to be in a good mood. You're not always going to feel on top of the world. You're not always going to feel inspired, motivated, positive. But you can always feel like that. And the power in moving forward, and the power that can help you with your fitness journey and staying consistent, is understanding that you won't always feel that way, but you have the power to bring that environment back around. It's your awareness of your feelings. It's your awareness of what you are attaching your emotion to, what you're attaching your progress to, what are you attaching that potential positivity to. How is that linked? Is that linked to what you see on the scale? Are you only feeling good about your body? Are you only feeling good about your life? Are you only in a good mood if you see that number on the scale dropping? If you see that number on the scale increasing? If you see the number on the bench press increasing? Like, is that the only thing that is driving your happiness? There's a lot of stress in our lives. And there are many, many things that can cause stress and that can cause a negative reaction. And many people are trying to scrape through the garbage and look through the trash to find that one little gem, that one little thing that can bring them joy and happiness and inspiration. And a lot of times it comes in these little tiny places, like how much weight they're benching or how much they're squatting or the numbers on the scale, because we're looking for something that gives us this positive feedback. We're looking for something that helps us value ourselves more and makes us feel better about ourselves. Well, you don't need those numbers to do that. I'll come out and call people fat. At the same time, your value as a person isn't judged by your weight. At the same time, I'm not going to put my arm around you and be like, it's okay that you're fat. It's not, especially if you're not taking action, because you are putting yourself at risk of fucking dying earlier and living a less productive, less of a quality life by pretty much all standards. I mean, if you want to not be able to move and that's your goal, then all right, who's to tell you otherwise? That's weird, but go for it. However, you're not going to be judged, or you shouldn't be judged by being overweight. It doesn't mean you're a bad person or a good person. There are people that are fat and are assholes. And there are people that are fat that are like the sweetest people you've ever met. There's both. There's skinny assholes and there's skinny nice people. So that's just a bullshit argument. We shouldn't be coddling people. We shouldn't be encouraging the pursuit of being unhealthy and destroying our bodies consciously. But we should also realize that a lot of it comes within. You know, we shouldn't be encouraging cheating. We shouldn't be encouraging these bad habits. But no one's going to be perfect. We have to overcome this. And a great way to overcome these stresses or these risk factors, these things that are going to invade our habits and invade our new routine and try to pull us away from what we want, we have control over those decisions. So as per the title of this episode, How to Flex Everything, you need to treat the body as an entire system, an entire unit. That does not just mean the muscles, the tendons, and the ligaments. It doesn't mean just the digestive system. It's not just food and nutrition that's the answer. It's the brain. Food is going to directly influence the brain. Food and depression, all these links with mood and function and emotions, feelings, linked directly to food. Violence, anger, frustration linked to food. It causes so much more than you realize. It's not just, oh, am I putting on fat? Am I losing weight? Am I building muscle? That's probably the least important aspects of eating healthier. Your physical transformation, that's probably the least important thing. We put so much value on it because that's what people see. We're stupid people. We dumb things down. Look, oh, that's the truth. Look, oh, that's the truth. We believe in things we can't see, like God and all this stuff. We believe in just stuff that no one can prove. And then we focus on the most rudimentary aspects of the physical result. Like, oh, you're skinny, you're fat, the pounds are higher, the pounds are lower. Like we miss everything in the middle. We miss everything in the middle. We miss everything in the middle. We believe in shit that we can't see. And then we only focus on the most literal, objective thing, like body weight. Where's everything else? Where's everything else? There's so many different systems, so many different parts of the body, not to mention the things that we can't even quantify, right? The psychological, we can't quantify that, how big our brain is or how big that little universe inside every single one of us actually exists. Like, the expanse of your brain and how powerful that is. If you want results and you want to maintain this for the long term, if you have any desire to maintain your fitness and do this for the long term, you're going to be very, very one-sided, one-dimensional. And eventually that house of cards is going to fall down if you're only going after the physical, if you're only measuring progress by the amount of weight you're lifting, by the amount of body weight you're losing, your body fat percentage. It's going to be very, very disappointing at some moment in your life. There's going to be some point where you just can't keep on maintaining muscle. You just can't keep on improving your cardio. You just can't keep on losing weight. You can't keep on gaining weight, all right? You're going to get older and you're going to die. And physically, that's going to waste away. It's going to waste away whether you're healthy or not. Like eventually you're going to disappear. You can be healthier and have more muscle mass and be stronger than someone that doesn't do anything until the day they die. However, you're still going to lose it all. So what's going to keep you going is not just your physical, because eventually those numbers are going to go down. You're going to lose your strength. You're going to lose your abs. You're going to lose all those things that, you're going to lose all those things that you're valuing so much now. Whereas you need to create that value within yourself and that love for yourself in other ways in order to maintain this. I don't feel like working out quite often. Quite often, I don't feel like going to the gym. Quite often, I don't feel like pushing myself. Quite often, I don't feel like doing yoga. It all takes time. How much time do you think I have in a day? How much time do you think I have in a day relative to you? We all have the same amount of time. Your perception and use of that time can change. But how much time do you think I have? I have the same amount of time as you. So if you wonder how I get everything done, well, I have the same 24 hours. I just put effort towards this and you put effort towards whatever. You need to prioritize, and you need to give part of the day attention, give part of the day to your fitness, give part of the day to your health. That's how you get it done. We all have the same 24 hours. How we use that, very, 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 very different. You just need to make it a part of your day and a part of your schedule, and it will work out for you. I guarantee it. It will work out for you. And there are going to be dips. There are going to be times when you just don't work. You're just hitting your head against a wall. There are going to be times when you don't feel like it, when you get hurt, when you get worn out, when you have stress in your personal relationships. These are all things that will threaten your consistency. But if you have your head screwed on straight, you'll be able to still find your consistency and your focus point and that target, the crosshairs with your fitness and your nutrition. That should always be at the top. That's always a top priority. That's always a number one priority. That's always, 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 always at the top of the pyramid or at the bottom of the pyramid, however you want to look at it. It's always the foundation. It's always the number one. Always the number one. Your fitness and your health does not take a back seat. It should never. It should never take a back seat. If there's ever something that rivals it, then good. Put it in the same category. It should never go above your own health and fitness. I know you have families, you might care for other people and kids, blah, blah, blah. You need to look out for yourself, number one. Otherwise, you can't take care of other people. And you can't make the argument otherwise. You're going to sacrifice yourself to help someone else. I mean, that sounds kind of fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't care if you have family. You can still take care of yourself and take care of them. You really can. You really, really can. No one likes to talk about being selfish. It's such a negative thing, but you need to be selfish. You need to love yourself. You need to care for yourself. You need to put yourself at the top of the heap. Got to put yourself number one. It might feel uncomfortable, like, oh my God, I got to prioritize myself. Abso-fucking-lutely. Look, there are going to be instances where maybe you have to do the opposite in the short term. I'm not saying all the time you always just do whatever you want no matter what, but over the long term, you need to put yourself, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying day to day, like sometimes, all right, oh shoot, my kid's sick. All right, maybe you can't make it to the gym that day because you have to. All right, that doesn't mean fuck. Well, stay at home and throw up in the bathroom until I get home from the gym. I'm not saying be a dick. I'm not saying you can't. That's going to be dynamic all the time. It's going to shift. It's going to go back and forth. It's going to be dynamic during your life. But overall, you need to be putting yourself number one. You need to be following what makes you happy, follow what you're passionate about, and make sure that you're covering all aspects of your fitness. All aspects of your fitness. Katya, what a great wellness class. Oh, thank you. Oliver, I like to budget my day, like my finances, take all my waking hours and plan it down to zero. That's good. That's smart, especially if you're really busy. It helps you make sure you get everything done. Zach, first live podcast. What's up? Watching on YouTube. Cool, man. Diane, learning how to say no was the best thing I've done for myself. Yeah, you can make the argument both ways. Some people talk about yes, like you have to say yes. Learn how to say yes. Well, I think saying no is also really powerful. You have to learn to say both. You have to learn to make your authentic choices. Don't do things you don't want to do. Don't do shit you don't want to do. If you don't want to do it, then fucking don't do it. If you want to do it, then do it. But as long as it's for the right reasons. Woke up at 5:15 a.m. to get this live. Ooh, Holly. That's the effort there. How do you feel about elevated split squats? What's that? What's an elevated split squat? Way off topic, but not sure what you mean by that. Very hard to give exercise. How do I feel about it? I don't feel anything about any exercise. I feel like Ebenezer Scrooge when it comes to fitness questions sometimes. How do you feel about it? I don't have a feeling about it. How do you feel about it? Do you like them? If you feel amazing when you do them, maybe that's all that matters. So when you say elevated split squat, there's so many different variations of every exercise. I'm very hesitant to answer when I can't see it. Because whatever the heck I might be thinking of as an elevated split squat might be completely different than what you're picturing. Unless you say something like a flat bench press or a barbell squat, then okay, I can answer pretty confidently. Of course, there's many different subtle variations with those exercises. It's hard to pinpoint sometimes or answer unless you see that person doing it and you really discuss and individualize their goals and things like that. Fitness is really not black and white. There aren't good exercise and bad. So some people might not like barbell squats. Some people might not like, barbell bench press for whatever reason, their arm length or limb length or their joint position. So it could be great for some people and good for others, and not good for others. Talk solely about meditation someday. I have many episodes on meditation. Do a search. Go to dailyswole.com and you can search the most recent episodes. I talk about meditation all the time. And I've done many episodes on the mind. So yeah, do a search. Check it out. Bow, 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 bow. Oh, it's sexy time with Papa Swole on a Friday. I'll take a couple more questions if they pop up. But we will do more episodes. This episode was pretty much about meditation. I don't know about, maybe it wasn't all about meditation, but it was about the mental approach. I really just think that if you're not starting or you haven't started yet, if you do the double bicep flex. No, I'm not a monkey. I don't dance for you. Let's see. Go check out my Instagram if you want to see flexing pictures or pictures where I'm lifting. If you're struggling, where was I? If you're struggling starting, the beginning is the roughest, especially with any habit. The beginning, because you're going to feel sore, you're going to feel achy, you're changing your schedule, you're eating different foods. That's why it's great to have a community. I mean, if you're doing this on your own and you're tuning into the Daily Swole and you're part of the Daily Swole Club on Facebook, or you're on my Instagram, that's why this is a great fitness community, because it's very supportive. It's very supportive, but it's supportive for the right reasons. You know, we don't chase numbers around here. We're not chasing. We're chasing individuality. We're chasing your purpose. We're chasing your vision. We're chasing your process and journey. And we all kind of have a little bit of a crossover because we're looking for our own personal, authentic approach to fitness. And that's what's missing in the fitness industry. There are a lot of supplements that are supposedly trying to fill in the gaps, but they all try to go towards weight loss or weight gain. It's like, fuck these numbers. Fuck these numbers, man. Fuck these numbers. Enough with the fucking numbers. Enough with the fucking numbers. Enough. Only getting 6 to 7 hours of sleep a night due to 4 kids. Damn. Pull out, yo. You can do that. It works most of the time. I'm just fucking with you. I mean, if you're only getting 6 to 7 hours of sleep, I know people that don't have kids that get less than that. So 6 to 7 hours of sleep is healthy for most people. Everyone's really individual with sleep, but that could be sufficient for you. So I mean, that's not that bad. It's not that bad, to be honest. One of your previous shows reminded me to go get a DEXA Fit scan. Oh, how'd it go for you? DEXA is cool. But it also doesn't discern between, I believe, like bones and muscle. I mean, it's one of the methods. Yeah. You know, if you have different levels of hydration and just a little follow up to body fat. Just remember, when you do any kind of body fat measurement, whatever it is, you know, it's always best to do it first thing in the morning on empty stomach. You try to do as many things the same way as possible, with hydration, with food, with time of day. I mean, better, you know, you want to really do it as consistent as possible. Even if it's calipers, you know, you just have to have the same person do it, the same clothes, pictures. It's really hard to be super accurate with that. So, you know, one measurement doesn't mean anything. I mean, you want to see the next measurement and you want to compare the first to the second, right? Oh, did I lose? Did I gain? So it's really important to do it as accurate as possible. UK, what up, UK? Vasectomy already done. True life. Broken. Yeah, that's true. Broken sleep. Yeah. If you have 4 kids, you're not getting 6 to 7 solid hours of sleep. That's a good point. Whitney, I have trouble with motivation. You've been helpful. Well, I mean, motivation is going to last you. Motivation might last you a day. It might be like, I feel good today. I feel like training. Well, I've said it many times here on the podcast. I don't follow motivation for my training because a lot of times I don't feel like doing it. I just know, okay, today I'm working out. It's just something that I'm doing. I don't think about whether I feel like it or not. A lot of times I don't. If I had to choose, like right now I feel stiff, I'd rather probably just do some yoga and hang out here, but I'm going to go fucking lift because I'm going to go fucking lift. And maybe I'll do the stretching and stuff after. It's like, it's not always magical. No unicorns and rainbows running around. It's going to suck a lot of the time. LMFAO, we didn't come in you. we didn't do it. It's not our fault. Brandon, thanks, Holly. I do twice a week. I meant more to do during the day when I have a few minutes. What was the question, Brandon? Someone said you should do yoga, meditation. If you're not meditating, I would start. You only need more. You don't need more than like 10 or 20 minutes a day. Motivation is an illusion. It doesn't last. It's an emotion. It's a surface of fitness emotion. It's a surface emotion. It's literally a surface emotion. If you want to get results, you cannot follow motivation. Some days, if you want to quantify motivation, you really want to talk about it. I say a lot of times motivation is bullshit. It's not a real thing. It's a real thing. You can quantify it as inspiration, a good mood, excited, motivated, whatever synonym you want to use. It's going to come and go. Some days you might feel like fucking crushing it. You can't wait to put the work in. And a lot of days you're not going to want to, but you need to do that. So if you're depending on getting your results based on staying motivated, that's like redlining your car nonstop for 3 months straight. Like the engine's going to burn out. You're going to fry the fucking clutch, whatever. You're going to destroy your shit. You can't redline all the time. You can't stay here all the time. I don't stay here all the time. I share that with a lot of you. Sometimes, I'm sure sometimes on the show, you'll hear me really up. You'll hear me. It doesn't mean when I'm more chill, it doesn't mean I'm in a bad mood or I'm having a bad day, but you'll hear different. I mean, it could be the amount of coffee I had. It could be the amount of sleep I had. And I don't notice all the nuances, but I'm sure when you listen, my voice sounds different day to day. Maybe I'm a little more raspy one day. Maybe I'm a little bit, everyone's different day to day, physically and emotionally. That's why meditation is so powerful, because if you can keep yourself more even keel, if you can keep yourself with perspective on how you're feeling, those emotions, those roller coasters are going to be farther and fewer between, because your relationship to your emotions change. Your relationship to your feelings change. That does change. It does. You will start to look at a moment that frustrates you differently. You won't just react with rage and you'll observe that feeling of rage maybe welling up inside you, and you observe it more. It literally adds like another camera angle. For those who like to edit or watch movies, it's like another camera angle. It's like two main characters are having a conversation, and all of a sudden you just got like a longer shot. All of a sudden, boom, you're in the back in the restaurant looking at them from afar, but you can hear everything. That's what meditation is. It just gives you another perspective, and you see everything happening like, oh, that's just that. And you cannot let it affect you. Meditate daily. It's easy to observe the people that don't. Well, most people don't. The very small percentage of people that practice yoga, I mean, let's say 1% of the population, it's less than that, but 1% of the population practices yoga regularly. 1% of that meditate daily. Very, very, very small percentage of the population meditates. However, you can find these areas of meditation, but they're not aware that they're meditating. So yoga is a moving meditation. Fitness for many people is a moving meditation. That's why you feel that kind of like high afterwards. There are different levels of it, but I'm talking about like focusing on, I'm not talking about running and getting a runner's high. I'm talking about sitting there and doing an actual meditative practice where you're like, that's the priority, that's the goal, and that's the thing that you're doing. You're sitting down to meditate. But then as you get better, you can meditate in traffic, you can meditate at a store, in line at the bank, you can meditate in more places, you can carry that feeling throughout the day. So it changes, it remaps your feelings, it remaps your emotion. Do you do both every day or close to it, yoga and lift? No, I don't do yoga every day. I mean, I try to do some kind of stretching and flexibility to balance out sitting down, but lifting, yoga, meditation, honestly, it's hard to get it all in every day. And it gets to the point where if I keep on doing all these things every single day, it's hard to maintain, and I'm not going to get anything else done. If I'm working out for an hour and a half and I'm meditating for 20 minutes, I'm doing yoga for half an hour, that's 2-3 hours every day. It can interfere sometimes with getting things done. But it's really not hard to do like a 10 or 15 minute little yoga flow, like doing a couple upward dog, downward dog, a couple warrior poses. You can bang that out really quick and just do it intermittently throughout the day. You also don't have to segment an hour for yoga. You can do 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening. What if you had that choice? A lot of you might be able to do 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening. Oh shit. But trying to schedule 40 minutes or an hour at any one time in the day could be way too much. But what if you broke it up into 2 little mini sessions? It's going to be better than nothing. It's going to be great. It's going to be far better than nothing, like night and day better. Holly, I had a lower week this week. I still crush it every day, but didn't do my running training. I was just so exhausted I couldn't get up. So I've been doing yoga. I need to start meditating. My goal this weekend, I will download Headspace and try to do 10 minutes every day. Don't even try. Don't even try. Try isn't even an option. You're going to do it every day. You follow it. That's what's great. And that's what's great about my programs in Swole Enormous X. That's what's great about Headspace, is that it takes you through day by day. You have day 1, day 2, day 3, and you just follow it. You just follow it. Like, it's great. You just follow along. So it doesn't give you that excuse. It doesn't give you that out, so to speak. It just, you do this on this day. Okay, it's day 4, I'm going to do this. It's day 5, I'm going to do this. Just do it. Even doing yoga, my mind is buzzing, always yelling at me. Yoga is a moving meditation, but it's very hard for people to get into doing yoga because it's so much slower. Their mind has so much more room to play, and they get overwhelmed and they can't focus on the yoga. But that goes away with practice. I love meditation immediately post-workout for 10 minutes. Yoga I'll do on rest days. I like doing a full yoga class and a full yoga flow. I also like doing meditation and then jumping right into doing a little bit of a yoga flow. That's great right after. But yeah, after a workout, see, that's called a hack in that sense. You figured out that you like doing a little meditation right after a workout. Fuck yeah. I mean, it brings you back to normal. I mean, that's a great way you figure it out. A lot of people don't try that. You might ask me, do you like to meditate right after you work out? I might say, what if I say no? And you think, okay, that's the answer. Papa Swolio doesn't meditate right after I work out. I've done it before, by the way. But what if I just said no? And you just took my word, okay. Well, what if that's amazing for you? What if you tried it? But what if you tried it and you loved it, but because I said I don't, you take that as, well, if he doesn't, then I'm not going to. That's not how this works. That's why I'm trying to give you that leeway where, you might want to try that. Just because I don't do a meditation immediately after my strength training doesn't mean that you won't love it, and it could be great for you, your family, and those around you. And one of the that's why I love doing these podcasts and doing so much talking. Every once in a while, you get this weird accent on a word. One of the beautiful things, so now I have to say that, the beautiful things about meditation is it doesn't just benefit you, it benefits everyone and how you react to people. So if you're normally an asshole or a prick, it'll help you be less of an asshole. It really will. And people around you will want to spend more time with you, and you'll have better relationships with your spouse, significant other, your friends. It helps you think about a lot of things differently. A lot of things different. Cool, Holly, go get it. Use the alpha state of meditation to help heal my body, rigorous exercise, including kung fu training. I didn't understand everything you just wrote there, Rich, but meditation is great. And martial arts, yoga, any type of body movement training really has a strong meditative component. It's just amazing how mental everything is. Yeah, fam. So a couple things, make sure that you are subscribed to the podcast. You can check out all the apps that the podcast is on. You can just do a search. You can also go to swolenormousx.com. That's where I have all my programs and memberships and nutrition jumpstart programs. You can also click in the main menu podcast. So swolenormousx.com, and you can click on podcast in the main menu, and it'll pull up all the apps that you could just click on and then subscribe directly there. And 3-month special offer, last couple days for that. The link is in my post description on Facebook for this episode and has been for the last couple of them. You can also DM me on Instagram if you don't see it, but I've been putting swipe ups and links in my Instagram story. So check that out if you're ready to actually take your shit to the next level. Like, it's fucking time. It's the end of the year, and that's what really amps me up. And today when I'm going to train, I'm getting amped up to lay some fucking smackdown because I think of it the same way. That's why I'm doing that 3-month special, because I'm thinking, man, 3 months left. I got to fucking turn it up myself so I can hit the ground running really hard on for the new year. So I'm amped up myself. So just kind of like passing on that mental approach. That's where I am in my head. So I want to share that with you. And those of you that are part of the Daily Swole Club, the 100% free Daily Swole Club, remember that's a private VSP messaging service on Facebook Messenger. All you got to do is go to my Facebook page at Swolenormous and just send me a message, and you'll get a response that will describe what the Daily Swole Club is all about. And you can hit join, the button at the bottom. Make sure you hit that button, and then you will get the exclusive messages, the updates, when I go live, little workouts, nutrition hacks, inspirational messages and things that I'll be doing throughout the week. And it's free. You can unsubscribe at any time, but it's super cool. And you get notified of the latest and the greatest. So you can check that out as well. Today's video on Instagram that I posted was cheat meals. That's a good one. Go check that out. It's the truth about cheat meals, and it's a great perspective. It's not being Johnny Raincloud. I'm not trying to hate on, oh, you can never eat anything you don't, anything bad for you. That's not what I'm saying, but it's a very interesting way to think about it because people cheat all the time. But when you think about, wow, if I'm cheating one day, it's 14% of my life. It might give you some perspective on why you're not getting results fast enough or to the extent that you would prefer. So go check out that video on Instagram, everywhere at Swolenormous. And I'll see everyone. We're out of the 880s, fam. We're coming up on 900. I feel like we just did the episode for 800, but I'll see you tomorrow for episode 890 of the most muscular Swolecast, Beardcast, Broadcast, Gaincast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, Slaycast, Taintcast, Coffeecast, Flex Friday Cast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. And yeah, 890 tomorrow, 890 tomorrow, 890 tomorrow. More gains every fucking day. Worth the, oh, thank you, Holly. I appreciate it. If you're just tuning into the end of the podcast, definitely go back and listen to this one. It's a real brain buster and it's good for you. It's good for your health, body, mind, and soul. I'm going to go get my sick fucking gains. I hope you do the same. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce, Magoose. Papa Swole, yo. Oh, out.